So we're going to take and again and just strip it off. Bruges might make fish right now. They make a lot of fish, so Bruges are also off to the table. Farewell. None of these other guys even can make fish, so it's okay. Alright, but the point is it's still much too big, and even though we're trimming off 3 of the guys from this, it's still a lot of fish needed. So, you're off to Edinburgh, are you? No, you're going back to Neshved. I need 2 of these guys at about 14,000 capacity each. Again, I'm stripping you down, Thagnus. I'm almost sorry. I'm gonna set you off to Rostock, tell you to take all the fish they've got, and then get to work. But not before you save Fish West. Rejected protagonist from the Dead Rising series. And I need another one. Don't really have somebody that's willing to just step in and do it, so we'll take our caravels, drop off 1, and make a new fish from Rostock West 2. And what do you call you? I don't know. Haddock. Another 14,000 or so capacity, and we're going to load up Fish West. And once again, we're going to invert it. So starting from Rostock, it should hit up Ripon first. So everything above Rostock moves to the bottom here. Still looks logical. Great. I would tell you to get to work. Well, I probably can, because you're going to Rostock first, where you collect 14,000 fishies. Excellent, but I know that there are other places lacking fish right now. So the center, for example, we only have 2,000 flowing, whereas they're actually going to need about 12,500. So you can see why this stuff has been mounting up. Make your way over to Neshved. I think I'm overcompensating for the fish here, so 12,000 alone should be plenty. I don't know, 8 cities for that amount of time? 8, 9, 10... Nope, should be fine. Get over to Rostock, take all the fish, and get to work. And then there's the east. The Borealis also only brings in 2,000, and the east need so much more than that. The east, when it comes to fish, need... well, they're probably also going to want 12,000 capacity. What was that? It's minus what it is. Take some free beer. In exchange, you know, for 50 barrels of beer, you're going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships. Hope you don't mind. It's going really well. Really, really well. See, at Danzig have been lacking fish. Now everybody should have plenty of fish. It was that easy to get it going. You misspelt it, Rish, Jake. Oh, did I now? So it'll be under R for Rish, right? Huh, that's kind of funny. There we go. See, people paying attention, which is kind of scary. Alright, we are almost done with this list. Next up is cheese. I'm fairly certain everywhere gets all the cheese that they could ever conceivably want, because I set that up very early on and I made it to be timeless. The concerning thing would be if I didn't have any cheese, or if I had tons of cheese, but I have just the right amount of cheese, so I'm certain that that is not a concern. Next up, pitch and pelt. The pelt I barely have any of right now because it doesn't flow properly. Pitch, on the other hand, I could probably send out more of, although I did prioritize it earlier. So, I mean, the pitch should flow around here. Indeed it does. Does it flow in the center? Indeed it does. How about over in the east? Riga, they get pitch. Stockholm, they get pitch. Danzig, also pitch. So the pitch seems to be fine at a glance. The pelts I'll have to worry about when I have too much of it. Meat. Is it even possible to have too much meat? Well, the West are finally facing meat shortages. I think it's because I only have a meat going around one direction there. So let's see if we can see the meat spin the other way. LM meat. Meat. Yeah, I only have one going to the west. I only have one doing the east, but the east need... When it comes to meat, that might not actually be enough for the east. Yeah, it isn't, because Danzig doesn't get enough. Let's just double up on the meat supply there, because I love meat as a trade good. Let's just give it an extra caravel. Tank them up in Rostock, and tell them to carry on with their merry way. Then there's the center, right? The center should have plenty of meat coming in. I mean, face it, they're going to Malmö, and they're almost done here, and they don't have to head up Oslo. So yeah, I know the meat center guy is fine. The trouble is the west. There's only one, it's a level 10 turnip, and it only brings around 2,000 meat. This is why meat is such a good trade good, it's low in tonnage. I need to make you about 3 times larger, and I need a second one of you. So, back to Næstved you go. We are not running low on caravels like I thought we would. 1. Give it to me, wild card. 2. Alright, that should be fine, but I'm going to save you as Meat West, another rejected protagonist from the Dead Rising series. Grab all the meat you could ever want from Rostock and get back to work. And then I'm going to make another one of you. 1, 2, 3. Is 3 going to be enough? Yeah, it should be plenty. And you will be the meat from Rostock West 2. What's a good kind of meat? Salami. I hate salami. Oh. Lamb steak. Okay, and we can just load up the meat guy. Meat West. And once again invert it. So Rostock first goes to Ripon. I don't care so much for the center and the east, but in the west I want 2 routes going the opposite directions. Just helps everything flow that much better. So you go around this way, you don't go to the places that actually make the meat. So that's good. Get to work. South American beef jerky, of course. God, that's good. Yeah, that is almost too good. Alright, we are almost done with this list now. It's just wine and spices. And I don't think the wine flows enough because, well, we have a lot of it here. It certainly doesn't seem to flow enough over in the west. I probably only have one direction going around it. So let's find the winery and see where the problem lies. Starting with the center, of course. 2,700 is... yeah, that's certainly enough for the center. The east gets 2,000. Is that enough for you? Yeah, that's more than enough for you, because I know you actually produce it as well. In fact, if I look at you, yeah, you just dodge all these guys. Do I actually make wine in Stettin? I do not, so it's a foolish move of me not to bring wine to Stettin, although they seem to have enough. Where are they getting their wine from? How and why does Stettin have plenty of wine? Oh, because they're counted as a centre, of course. Regardless. Everything looks fine except for the west when it comes to wine. And I do have two doing it. Rostock, Ripon, Hamburg. Rostock, Stavanger, Bergen. Okay. I mean, that makes sense, but maybe we just don't have enough flowing. Slightly too few. I should double up both of these. That's not who I need to do anything with. Chill pill and you. Slightly too few. Once we double this up, it'll be fine. Oh, well, that's a problem. I didn't realize you were one of these Hanseatic cog types. Well, at least I finally have my Hanseatic cogs fleet back. Sorry for the inconvenience, please return to work. And then there's you. Just beautiful. Now everything should flow fine with the exception of pelts. I can see pelts being a problem. Now I've finished my, for the first time ever, finished a treasure map. Let's just delete all of these because they can crash the game if you do any modding. For example, if and when I share this, this save, people that have different mission files to me can crash the game if I have any missions active here. That looks good. I'm going to save my game there, and we're very nearly at the end. The true end. I mean, I still have 4 million goods when I do not have anywhere near the capacity for it. So I'd like some more guys that'll buy up my stuff. Like this guy, he'll buy up all my meat. Well, I do have too much meat, so that's only too kind of you. Oh god, the game's breaking. Let's have it out here. Just wait until Jake starts playing Factorio. Can't wait for that game to come out of early access. Believe you me. Okay, what else is there for me to do whilst we wait on all of this? Well, I mentioned how we don't have much cloth and we could do with more of it. Funny, I kind of remember saying that. Caravels, Thagnus, Caravels, 5, 10? Yeah, I think I'll drop off 10 of them in Rostock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Back to Nashstad with you. And I'm going to take my expeditionaries that we have not touched on in a long time because we haven't had to. And I am going to see if these trading posts in the Mediterranean are bugged or not. For a while I've been suspecting that they are, because I've done quite a lot with them and they haven't upgraded, and I've also read about them being bugged online. So, what are we going to do? Expeditionary for Carl needs tools and pitch. Well, anything I have too much of will go there. Seems we have a lot of pitch, so off that pitch goes. And then there's the other one, Barrel needs pitch and tools. Okay, it's high time I just change this. I know it's Barry, but it looked like Barrel to me. They want pitch and tools, I'll give them whatever I have most of, which certainly is, well, actually I've got quite a few tools, but I have a lot of pitch, so off they go as well. At least I discovered Barry. Istanbul wants pelt and pitch. It was Istanbul in the 14th century, don't believe these revisionist Byzantine lies. Expeditionary to Nador wants pitch and pelt. One, two, three, four. Funny, it feels like I'd done 5 by now, but I guess not. Tools and pelt for the other one. Well, I have tools, so off you go with that. And away they go. That's kind of cool. Alright, nice. We'll see if I can level any of them up at all. Now, which of my ships have failed me? Quite a few of you. The spices I need to decentralize, that's no big deal. Bruges to Rostock fish. Why? How? I think I'd already taken him off the fish guy, right? Fish west does not include you. The other fish west also does not include you, so it's kind of strange that they would ever fail me. Who else is letting me down? Danzig to Rostock metal. I can't even begin to imagine why that one failed. It makes metal, it doesn't get used by anything other than the city itself. Get to work. Doesn't have a lot to take away either. Somebody else brought it down. Somebody else hits up Danzig for metal. Danzig to Rostock. There was another one. There was Max Power and Patty Cake. Max Power has a larger capacity, so Patty Cake I can kill. You are now Todo, and you have no route. Alright, we got rid of that meat in Rostock, but there are many other goods that I want brought down. My rival's reputation has suffered greatly, yes, I'm sure it has. It's salt that I am utterly drowning in here. Alright, so my expeditionaries have returned, and trust me, this is an extremely tedious process. Where even are they? It can be hard to locate them. I wish I could give them some kind of special look to them. Oh, are they not back yet? Oh, they returned to Haarlem. That's foolish. I know it's a longer journey, but I'd rather they returned to Rostock. Four and... yeah, they just refuse to level up. I mean, maybe they just take longer, but I don't know. Still, they give me tons of goods to just throw down here. I'm only too happy to get spices and cloth. So I can actually take a minute to talk about these expeditionaries. Actually, given the fact that I get so much of this stuff back, maybe I should send even bigger expeditionaries. You can use expeditionaries to ensure that you always have enough spices, and in fact always have enough of everything. But because it's micromanagement, I have no intention of incorporating it into my Perfect Hansa. Perfect Hansa must, above all else, be with as little micro as possible, and this stuff just invites it. But still, you get a ton of spices. That's plenty. Given the 10-day demand for a place like this on spices is 162, we've just given this place 100 days demand of spices, just like that. Could probably get a whole lot more as well. Cheap merchandise, you say? That's my favourite kind of merchandise. Just do that to get him off my back. Kind of tells me that I want more of these, but what I can also do with my expeditionaries is sell off any excess goods I have here. So I mean, take all this wool, I can sell it on the cheap out to those, to the Mediterranean, and I rather think I will here. Just to see if it can actually work and I'm not talking out my rear end. So wool is the thing that I have most of and too much of, right? So we just buy it up. And we head you out to Bari. Oh, and you are returning to the correct place this time, Rostock. And with you, buy up the wool. And head over to Cart. Again, back to Rostock. Buy up all the wool. Now you sell it for super cheap. I don't even know how cheap, but apparently you don't sell it for much money. Istanbul, return to Rostock. This is one of the parts that I think is really cool in the game. It's just a shame that it's so tedious into the late game. Return to Rostock when you go to Nador. And then there's you. Good way to get rid of the excess. I just probably should bring along some bigger fleets. And off they go. I don't know if that's going to help these destinations grow. Most places are now demanding clothes. That's adorable because they're not going to get it. In my place, only the 8% get it. Bremen to Rostock wool just failed. Bremen keeps failing me for unknown reasons. Why in the world would Bremen be short on wool? Does my wool trade route hit them up? Wool West 1 and West 2. Yeah, it hits up Bremen. And that's a problem. Away it goes. And away it goes. It's really nice because it saves me a couple of days on both of them. And the hemp guy has stopped again. Why? Continues to make no sense. My expeditionaries just got back, right? Again? But again, none of these guys have leveled up for whatever reason. He didn't manage to sell all of his wool. That's kind of sad. Jeez, that ridiculous amount of money that I've got. Nimwegen, for whatever reason, are short on wood. Do they make salt for me? They do, and that'll be exactly why they get short on it. So I need to tell whoever goes there to supply it to bring more wood. Oh, and then I have this Todo and Nimwegen. Where is supply Nimwegen? Okay, he doesn't bring anywhere near enough wood for them. So I need to tell him to bring... Let's see, it's an 11-day journey. I think he only needs about 1,000 more wood for it. So when you're in Rostock, please bring quite a bit more of this stuff. I hope you bring enough of everything. Yeah, you probably do. But still, more wood. And when you get there, let's give you a couple more of those. And I think I'll just liquidate this toad out. Unless you have a really good... Oh, you are really skilled. Well, I shouldn't be worried about that because... Well, yeah, what the hell. Nah. I think I have all the boats I need now. Goodbye. That's why they're short on them. Now, I'm not saying the Hansa is perfect. There's probably still a bit of tweaking to be done here and there. Like this, I don't get enough metal in for whatever reason. Which implies that there might be a bit of a hold up in Bruges, Danzig, Helsinki, or Erfurt. Well, not really in Erfurt. Not really in Helsinki. I just got to get that metal. Oh, I took Neshved off my metal routes because they produced it themselves a while back. Metal center guy, both of you. Add in Neshved between Aalborg and Freisburg. Flensburg, yeah. Same with you. There we go. Jake, one of your cities is still starving at the bottom left. I don't like the idea of a starving city. I don't like the idea of still starving either. How is that possible? Oh, jeez, Cologne. I thought I bulked you up. That's extremely bad news. How long has Cologne been starving? Damn, starvation is the one thing I meant to try and prevent. Did I not up supply Cologne enough? Wow, they are wrecked on just about everything. I need to find supply Cologne and find out what's gone horribly wrong there, because it really has. Supply Cologne. Yeah, you hardly bring in anything for them. That's why. That's why. You keep bringing back. You don't. You've been full of spices for all this time, and I haven't noticed. That's bad. That's extremely bad. Please don't trade in spices. And don't bother with clothes. Okay, that's awful. Well, you know what, we'll bulk you up in boats while we're at it. Heavens knows how many we need. Gonna get you back to Rostock and fix you up good, Cologne. Alright, forget all this stuff. Cologne. Cologne is a population of 60,000, right? We can just assume that it is. Let me check my Hanseatic needs for somewhere of, let's say, 70,000 to play it safe. Do you get enough of this stuff? Kind of. Kind of, yes. Could do with a bit more though. I think I will bulk this one up a bit. Grain, yep. Hemp. I mean, anything that I bring that's too much, they'll just give me right back, so it's okay. Okay. Do that, please. Cologne is going to be so short on people now. That's bad. Hopefully I can give a meal for the poor as soon as, well, you know, starvation blocks that. This is also going to hurt the honey, which hurts the mead. It's going to hurt a lot of things. Might be a mission to prevent it though. Support us. Population of the city needs to double. Oh, it will. I'll see to that, Mr. Cologne. So now they have fish, they have cheese, they have meat. Look at how fast it all drops away though. But we pay it to them. Alright, so now the starvation has ended in Cologne, thank God. Which means we can have a meal for the poor, a large one. Because we need that population to... Oh, they're still in state of emergency, which blocks the effect of my meal for the poor. What a waste. Alright, there we go, upswing. Whew, thanks for noticing that. Otherwise it gives time for all the other goods to flow, and it lets the population of Cologne increase. Although it needs to increase a lot faster than that, so maybe I can take population from somewhere that overproduces something massively and displace it there. Potentially wool. Of course it means I need a fleet that can get to Cologne, which is mostly made of upgraded crayers. Actually that's the only thing that I can get there. So what does that tell me? Tells me I'm probably going to get rid of the wild card guy here, or I'll just use the wild card guy and I will keep one solitary crayer here for the rest of the crayers. There we go. So now I upgrade the wild card Kongsberg's crayers. And now I have a population pop. Oh man, that's not a very large amount of sailors that I can bring along. But it beats no sailors whatsoever. Where near Cologne produces wool for me? Tell me my spreadsheets. Haarlem does, Bremen does, Stockholm does, Visby does. Haarlem it is then. And we can do our dirty old trick here of going to the sheep farms and saying, you don't work anymore. And then we go to the pub, and then we grab all these people. Because this population needs to repair, and fast. How can I call it a perfect Hansa if people are starving? I really like Cologne as well, so this is not happening on my watch. Haarlem's going to need to replace all these people that I am murdering off so they can have a meal for the poor as well. But I'm still killing people off. That's not enough. This would be a lot easier if I had a lot more boats with which to transport people around with, but when all you have is crayers, well, you gotta work with what you've got. Don't think of it as starving, just sustained fasting. There we go. I mean, Haarlem's population pumps up so fast. And like I said, I'm only hurting the production of sheep here, so it's no big deal. We are way overproducing. Well, no, we're not overproducing wool whatsoever right now. At least if my calculations hold up. What we're failing to do is get rid of all the wool that we have. It piled up for some odd reason. We might be overproducing it if it's not being transported to our weavers properly, and that is something I should check. I should check all places that produce cloth and make sure that they get enough of it. Alright, that should help out Cologne at least a reasonable amount. So you guys can just, I don't know, get back to Nashved. so, places that make me cloth. You are Hamburg, Rostock, and Berlin. Now Rostock certainly makes enough cloth. Weavers, 300 of, they make loads of cloth. Good. The other one was Hamburg. So once again, Hamburg, gorillions of weavers. Yeah, 321, plenty of wool. Plenty of cloth that they might not actually be throwing around enough of. So where's that Hamburg cloth guy? There's the wool to shreds guy. Hamburg to Rostock hemp. Oh really, where is he? Where'd he go? Hamburg to Rostock cloth vaporwave. You only transport 4,000 every 10 days. In 10 days we produce 6,000 or so, so you are insufficient. I'm going to start off by adding a couple of caravels to you. I hate mixing, but we'll leave it as that, it's harmless. The big one is... no, it's not that big, but Berlin still does 100 of them. Plenty of smithies, low on metal. Hopefully metal is just around the corner for them. Weavers, they do plenty of weaving. Okay, so Berlin runs out of metal easily. This is bad. Berlin to Rostock tools, hammer. You're not working again. And Berlin is jacked full of metal goods again. So when you go to Rostock, I want you to pick up all the metal. When you go to Berlin, I want you to drop off all that metal. And that way you should never break down again. I don't think they're ever short on wood though here in Berlin. I hope not. They got tons of it. Alright, they're wealthy, their population goes up fast in Cologne, but it could go up faster. So have a meal for the poor. Wow, that works wonders. Pretty good at this whole people displacement business. So now that time has passed and goods have flown, I can see what's really failing us now. It's a lack of mead is a problem. Oh, he's going to get rid of that excess salt that we have tons of, so this guy's going to do us a big favor. Wonderful. Yeah, one wonders why the mead is stopping. Our main mead productions are in Bergen, Scarborough, Nevsted, but Thorn is the biggest. And Thorn should now have plenty of honey, so that is flowing. Wait, didn't the Danzig? Yeah, there's our problem. The Danzig mead man has failed us. So it's not a distribution problem, it's a supply... No, that's not true. It's not a supply problem, it's a distribution problem. But all supply problems are distribution problems, so blah 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 blah. Point is, you got mead, we need that mead. And now we have it. Wrong one, although that honey does need to flow. There we go, got rid of that excess salt. Now, if only he would take away our wool as well. There's probably a bit of a countdown or timer between the missions that they offer. But everything's set up to run so smoothly that I have no problem just sitting back and pressing spacebar for a while. It's really taken a while then. Alright, Cologne's population has skyrocketed, which is just what we like to see. More meals for the poor. More massive populations. And it means that's more honey for us, which is what we need. Excellent. Now, them aside, I would like to go to the guild and inquire about all the cities. Is there anybody that is not at maximum population right now? Danzig seems oddly not there, but I mean, I will fill in max population on my grand old spreadsheet here for everywhere that is, and then undo those that are not at max population. So, Kachunk, and then who is not. According to this, Danzig, Warsaw... Hang on, Danzig's population is meant to be 6-3. So, okay, there's something up with Danzig. There's something up with Warsaw. We know... Where else? Stettin, Riga, Thorn. Thorn. And Stettin. And Riga for some reason. Boston has a state of emergency. That's probably plague, but we'll check them out anyway. And Minden is meant to be tiny. Cologne, of course, and we're dealing with Cologne. So there we go. Most of them are looking fine. We'll go and do the rounds on those that are not. Starting with Boston. Boston has a plague, of course. That drives down population by a little bit. Not a huge amount, so nothing that we have to worry about. It just happens naturally. I mean, this is with... Oh, I don't have 100% well coverage. Well, that's all on me. Although we know 100% well coverage does not prevent plagues anyway. Still, I'm going to green it because it will bounce back and everything else looks fine. But we should take this opportunity to build some well. Why does the enemy have some houses? Wow, you managed to squeeze in this. Well, it's going away. And they got in a nice well in its stead. Like I said, this is what the AI excels at, finding these little places. I could have sworn I tried to build a house here, and it wouldn't do it, because, oh well, guess not. There we go. But for the rest of the city, they need more wells. Situation's improving, they say. Well, as long as people think things are improving, then it's okay. Whoa, you can build wells outside of the walls? Amazing. You shouldn't be able to do that. There must be a reason to do that, and if I cared about this game, as in cared about playing it beyond what we're doing here, then I would be looking into that. There we go, 100% coverage by wells. Which means I can do the W for Boston as well, because the wells look good. Cologne we're working on, we know we're working on it. What else was there? Stettin for some odd reason. No, the population is maxed out. I don't know why it told me otherwise. I know why. They don't properly update until you check cities. They only update every now and then otherwise. Where else is there? Danzig and Thorn. Why not Thorn? Doesn't this mean all your current city plans are suboptimal, Jake? I don't care about that. Thorn, though. What's your issue? I mean, you're very almost there. You probably just had a disease or something, right? Probably. Have a meal for the poor and get that stuff jacked right up. And then we'll say you are greened, because I know you will be shortly with that. Then there's Danzig. Danzig is at 104% apparently. That doesn't make much sense. Okay, they've fixed themselves in Danzig. And then there is Riga. Jake, normal buildings need to be attached to roads. Walls have certain distances that they can be from roads. I guess its range is big enough to be placed outside of... but small wells can be placed anywhere regardless of that. And I can't do it outside the walls here, but I can do it inside the walls. And I'm pretty sure I made the Boston wall as big as possible from the very start, because I owned the place. There's no reason why I wouldn't. Okay, whilst I'm here, I'm just giving Riga some extra wells, because we like Riga so much. Some have even reported that they love Riga. Don't know who would say such a thing. I love how they're all lacking clothing. Now that's how you make a perfect Hansa. Alright, that should be plenty, right? 100% coverage on that, and Riga's population should be a little bit higher. We can help them along, have a meal for the poor. And then that population goes nowhere for some reason. What? I must have one of these things working at 0%. But Riga for me is only salt and cheese. 72 cheeseries. 500 and... Why am I missing some salt? I have other businesses here that I did not... Shoot, that's why. I've got these clay pits that aren't working. Well, this is why we double check. I was missing 2,200 people here because they weren't working. So they were only beggars. Oh, I'm so glad we checked this, otherwise my Hansa would not be perfect. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Let's just build wells so nobody gets the bright idea of building where my stuff was there. And they'll be done in 5 days. There we go, and population jumps right up to 60,000, and that's Riga. Done. Finally Warsaw. What was their problem? Huge population. Plenty of goods. Correct numbers. It just hadn't updated then. So the population is fine everywhere except for Cologne. And Cologne is being fixed. Yeah, even Haarlem bounces back and normalizes pretty quickly. I could still ship a few more people, but I'm certain Cologne will be fine soon enough. I still vastly overproduce some things, and for some reason brick is still increasing in how much I have of it, which doesn't sound right. Either I'm not distributing it enough, and I'm pretty sure I am. Nobody is complaining for lack of brick. Did I build more brick than needed? Also, Boston still has a wood problem. Boston salt. Boston to Rostock wool. I never did set up a Boston to Rostock wood guy, did I? Well, that's my problem right there. Even though it doesn't make that much wood. Even so. How much wood do I make here? Hang on, this place doesn't make wood at all. At least I don't make wood in Boston. So I'm dropping off too much wood here. Which means the Boston to Rostock salt guy brings back too much wood. He brings back 12,000 a pop. Which is clearly too much. Okay. But I told him to bring back that much, didn't I? Well, we're bringing that one right back down. 8,000 should be plenty. Honestly, 5,000 should be plenty. I know he's on the wood route, but it takes 14 days, so I would want a little extra. So, yeah, 8,000 should be plenty. Jake, you still doing expeditions? I'm not so sure about that. It's really tedious to do. Words like tedious, dull, and boring only begin to describe the expeditionary mechanics in this game. And I can't even get rid of all my wool that way. Still, I bring spices. There's got to be something to be said for that, right? But since they don't play into our perfect Hansa setup anyway, I don't think we need to bother about them. I did mess with the thought of upgrading them all, but that's just tedium for tedium's sake. Now, if everywhere on the map only desires clothes, then that's how we know we've done a great job. However, Visby, for some odd reason, don't get enough beer. Now that is unacceptable. Beer to the east, Mandrake. You start off in Danzig, but you clearly don't bring enough beer. So we're going to upgrade you a little bit. Going to give you a couple of Carvels. And then we're going to tank you up with a bit more beer. This is clearly not a shortage of beer that's the problem, and tell you to get to work. Pelts. I would like to finally throw enough pelts around that people are happy. So let's start with that. Pelts are on par with the meat, so for example out to the west I only need about 10,000 of them. Do I even have pelt runners going around? Pelt, center 1. The center, for example, doesn't need much, but it needs twice as much as these guys are giving out. Yeah, apparently, I'm not even sure I can believe that. Still, where are my cogs at? No, not my Hanseatic cogs. Those poor guys just want to be useful. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, that's... How did I not manage to count that correctly? Also, no, the pelts to the center only need about 4,000 capacity, and they were about 4,000, weren't they? Well, there you go. I can still say I give you an upgrade that way. Pelts to the east. The east are going to need a whole lot more. Yeah, they also need about 4,000. So get back here. Fortunately, I have the cogs for you. Top you up those pelts. And there you go. So people can't wear clothes, but they can wear pelts. That's how generous I am. Volcano and seas to them. Alright, the West. The West needs so many more than they currently get. It's not a lot, but still more. I want 2 of them at about 5,000 capacity each. So, since we're dealing with caravels, it might as well be 6,000 capacity. There you are. You can get back to what you do. And hop to it. But I want you saved as Pelt West. Yet another rejected Dead Rising protagonist. And I'm going to set up another one of these. Probably from the wildcard Thagnus. Because, I mean, hey, he gets around, right? One, two, three. Pelt from Rostock, West 2. And we're going to call you the November Tango Golf November Mike Kilo. Is that India or Lima? I don't know. Tango. Great name from Veteran Vandal. Don't know where he gets it from. Probably from the brain hemorrhage. And we load up the Pelt West. We activate it, but not a second before we invert it. So Rostock, no, wait, what? Oh, of course you don't go to Ripon. Everything above Rostock moves to the bottom here. Fantastic. Get to work. And now the pelts are supplied for all. Hamburg lacking salt is a bad thing. I don't even know how they could be lacking salt. Oh right, I sold off all my salt internally, so there's going to be a little bit of a lack of production for a short while, but that's okay. It'll normalize. Isn't turning wildcard Thagnus into an expedition to dump wool or something? It's not really a question. But he wouldn't be able to get rid of all that wool. We could try it, just so you can be satisfied. Here we go. Gonna buy up all that wool and tell you to go to my favorite place in the world, Barl. Go for it. Look at him go. He's a very experienced captain. Good everywhere, only wants clothes, unless they're really well supplied, in which case they want spices. Excellent. But metal not flowing so well. Didn't we have a problem with metal earlier? I mean, Erfurt is bringing in the metal, as is Bruges. I don't understand the lack of metal. Might just be taking a while for it to normalize, it's possible. But it's not the only place lacking metal. I don't say have some kind of fleet not operating who should be moving metal, am I? Bremen to Rostock, hemp, not moving again. Helsinki to Rostock, grain, also not moving. I think that's because Helsinki is on a grain path, right? That would make sense. Also, look at all these caravels they've got, it's beautiful. If they're on a grain path, then I'm going to have to remove that, so I need to find grain east. I have 2 of them, of course I do. And I need to remove Helsinki from both. Because like I said, they produce their own grain. They don't need this. Hold on. What happens if I collect a map when I already have a full map? Amazing. You can have multiple ones of them. That's kind of cool. Alright, any other goods you want to take off of my honey? Oh yes, please. Take that honey away from me. We have so much of it. It makes me wonder if we aren't doing enough with our mead. But our meaderies are working. Alright, so the wild Carthagnus arrives back with still most of our wool is still there. But we got in those spices and all that stuff. But it's still not enough to upgrade Barrel. I don't understand. What does it take? I mean, I could still send the wild Carthagnus out there to see if he can upgrade Barrel at some point. But they sell goods that I don't really want. It's cloth that's more important to me than wine, because we have tons of wine. As for cloth, tons doesn't really describe it very well. But still, Barrel is our place, so we'll go there. And return to... oh, Rostock, of course. You know, I could bring as many pitching tools as I can muster. It's only fair. What a great Hansa. And Cologne's population is repairing nicely. The wool, though, is still just going up and up. I need to get rid of that. Got rid of the honey, at least. And good, the salt level's normalized after we sold it all off. I think we just need one good selling off of the goods that we have. Otherwise, you know, everywhere seems to get plenty of everything that we have production of. Just the metal concerns me a little. Why does it keep doing what it does? Erfurt should bring us tons of it. And I doubt it's all just getting stolen by the inland guys here. Erfurt to Rostock metal. Yeah, you don't even bring all of it. You go to Erfurt, you drop some off in Minden, and then you drop it all off in Rostock. Also, wildcard is back, right? What did they have to say? No, they didn't even want all of our goods. So no, Barrel is just letting us down here. Well, there's very little left for us to do with this so-called perfect Hansa. It's just a case of shipping off any excesses that we have here, which will have built up over the, well, the build-up period. And occasionally there are guys in the pub that'll ask for that. And whilst I could build all the wells everywhere, I mean, for what point? We have still seen that it does not prevent plague. So, I can't be happy with that. But I can certainly be happy as soon as Cologne reaches maximum population. And I will continue to give them meals for the poor until they hit that. Gotta hit that population cap, you know. And then I'll be satisfied that I have, insofar as I'm willing to go, by my own rules, a perfect Hansa. People want for clothing, and that makes me laugh. Makes me laugh greatly. The metal situation still confuses me. I mean, I should go around everywhere that makes metal and ensure that they're doing the correct amount. So Helsinki, well, let's actually highlight metal on my own thing here. Helsinki should have 381 metal places. It does. Erfurt should have 690 metal places. It does. Danzig should have 94 metal places. It might. There we go, 94. And finally, Bruges should have 183 metal places. It does. I mean, I can only assume that it's just taking a while to normalize out. Well, I'll go with that assumption. None of them are backed up at all. Everything just runs pretty damn smoothly now. And oh, we've been at the money cap for a while. Since I own it, I might as well buy raw stock. I mean, that's a lot of stuff to buy, but hey.
What do you want with this dilapidated old house? With this much gold, I can easily build a new one.
Just had a thought, he might sabotage me after I buy all of his buildings. And then he could reduce the population of any city by as much as the AI feels like reducing it by. Can't remember if I bought Novgorod or not, but it would be nice if I did. Come on game, just give me a buy all button. This is my hub city, so it makes the most sense for me to own it completely. I mean, what else am I meant to do with all this money? Truly the greatest problem in life. So remember when I said earlier that I kind of owed the lords of the land some billions of ducats? Trust now that you can believe me when I say that amount of money. It's like picking snot from our nose. I can't get rid of this money fast enough. I might as well actually let the game flow whilst I'm buying all of his everything. So I can have those annoying interruptions, of course. No point in having money if you don't just spend it like this on the suffering of others. Means that Rostock is also the busiest place in the world, since everywhere that does trading with the central hub has to come here. And most places certainly do have to. Only has a few left. Where are they hiding? Can't hide from me, I've got money. And that's the end of my competitor in Rostock. Oh, just in time for there to be a plague here. And again, Rostock has 100% infirmary and 100% well defense. Now, if I knew that that actually prevented plague, then I would probably do it everywhere, but since it doesn't, there's just no point. Madness. Well, that kind of describes what this whole run has been. Utter madness. Is there anywhere where these numbers don't line up? Because that means somewhere that my competitor has snuck in another building without me knowing. Nevsted? No, those are my buildings, and that's okay. They can hang around for posterity. Revel, he found a place. Where is he? He found somewhere to build a building. I mean, I can't even really tell. It was probably something that I destroyed here and he managed to find and rebuild, so I'm going to take this one. No? I take one of his prized Patricians.
You want to pay
and destroy it.
for this house? You know what? I can buy another 10 with that much gold.
Well, just try it. You'll find that you cannot. 620, 610, 560, 580. What was that? Stavanger. Okay, so he found a whole bunch of places to build houses around here. I don't like the fact that my competitor exists at all inside my own cities. What did he build though? He built houses. Makes sense. In topsy-turvy land. Away it goes. Where else is he? Stavanger was one of those horrible places where the terrain just did not match up at all. We don't have enough fountains, blah blah blah. Well, what, there's no university here? Don't mind me, I'm just gonna fix that for you. There's a house underneath my nose again. It's very hard for me to anticipate this stuff. I just kind of have to wait for the AI to do it and then react. Unless I'm really good, which I'm clearly not. I mean, how did he even build this? Get away. Built it into the land again. And then the rest of these I'm just gonna have. Whew, always gotta save after some hard work like that. Alright, but is that everywhere? Stavanger, 600, 550, 600, 680, 370, Erfurt. Jake, I've been watching the YouTube series and this is my first time watching on Twitch. Did you change your hub city? Yes, I did. It was Aalborg for a long time, but I decided that my hub city had to connect to the road networks into the inner cities. So I moved it from Aalborg to Rostock. That was no small undertaking. Can't remember why I chose Rostock over Lübeck. I'm sure I had good reason. Probably because grain was produced in Rostock and grain was the most high tonnage good to move around. So I didn't want to have to move it from Rostock if possible. Now Erfurt. I went through a lot of trouble to make sure I 100% owned this play. No, I didn't. Only for businesses. Regardless, looks like you made this one fairly recently.
What do you want with this dilapidated old house?
To destroy it.
With this much gold, I can easily build a new one.
And you know what? For what you've done to me, I'm going to kick you out of Erfurt entirely. And it's going to cost me a lot of money, but no Erfurt. That was pretty bad, but I didn't have much to mind there. So again, these patrician houses are costing me about 4 million ducats. They make me 3 ducats per person per day, and there's 100 people in them. How long does it take to pay back? It's a long time, we all know that. 4, 3, 2, 1... Removed. Erfurt is now mine. Just as well because it's the second biggest city in all the Hansa, the largest being Rippen. Okay. 500, 3, yeah, Posen. You snuck your way in where? Oh, I should have seen that.
What do you want with this dilapidated old house? With this much gold, I can easily build a new one.
Ah, well, no space left in Posen, I'm afraid. And they found a place in Breslau as well. They're pretty good at finding the places in the internals. Oh wow, nice.
What do you want with this dilapidated old house? With this much gold, I can easily build a new one.
They have different ideas of easy from me. Hold on, did Breslau say it had a population of 70,000? How? Where are they going? What are they doing? That shouldn't be possible.
So, that's what you get.
Set my business on fire in Breslau? That shouldn't be possible. Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright. Oh dear. That's hilarious, but it's really bad. I built a lot of wells here, right? See? Reduces danger from fires and disease. So this shouldn't do much, right? Okay, that's good. And then it repairs itself. Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm glad I had a lot of wells here, because fire, with I assume without wells, would have spread and destroyed everything in Breslau. No joke, everything. Well, glad we captured that one. Alright, 650, 450, 600, 550, 620, 610, 600, 590. I think we've seen it all. Otherwise this would not be a... Yeah, good. They're all fine. Wouldn't have been a nice round divisible by 10 number. Ooh. Good, the metal numbers are coming in, so that will normalize. So really, I can just spacebar my way to money. We're going to make our way to the money cap once again, and then sit back satisfied that we have created a, by our own terms, perfect Hansa. It's been a long journey. It's been one hell of a long journey. And I think we can all say that each and every one of us have learned something from the experience. If you're watching this and you've somehow reached the end of the YouTube playlist, which must surely be a couple hundred long, then I find what you've done very commendable. Although it's most likely you've just been using it for sleeping aid. I find that the most believable situation. And there we are, that's the money cap, if ever there was one. Everywhere on the map, they really only want either clothes or spices. The places that want spices are the truly lucky ones, because those are the guys that actually got clothes delivered to them. I wonder what happens to you when you have clothes. Like, do you stop demanding? Spices are in demand. Well, have some spices then. No, clothes are still in demand. These guys just want for everything. Oh well, not my problem whatsoever. So I'm really satisfied with this Hansa. I will probably put up the save to share with everyone, because that's how nice I am. Let's make a final save, number 65. That's where we are. That's what I'll share. And sure, I got a lot of goods here that I could easily divvy out, but I'm not keen on just waiting for the guy here to sell off my goods. I mean, I'm not in for grinding, right? Hamburg want metal, don't they? I think the metal just needs to balance out here, because all the numbers do add up, and holy smokes, look at these. Oh, the metal is probably in demand because I still have a lot of people wanting ships, which drives up the demand for metal goods. That makes the most sense to me. Oh well, not a problem. But I am done. I am well and truly done. I'm also very satisfied with what I have here. Even Cologne have reached their Man, just can't ever be done, can we? Come on, Cologne. It's not hard. Lovely meal for the poor drives up that daily increase of beggars. It's nice to see the houses becoming more full and also more of the poor people turn into burgers. It's a nice life, right? Come on, Cologne. We've not reached perfection until you are done and done right. Why is there this space here that nobody builds on? Can't take any risks around here. Nobody builds there. If I can't, nobody can. Jake, will this go up in the mod playlist? Oh, you mean a mod game? I mean, there's already a mod game for this, so I don't know what you're getting at. But then it's Lucas, whoever really knows what he's getting at. We'll be satisfied once housing occupancy is at 100% here. And boy, will I be satisfied. I trust nothing has just burned down around here. No, it seems not. Seems not. You're so close, Cologne. Come on, you can do it. Edinburgh to Rostock beer. That makes very little sense why you would ever be short on beer in Edinburgh. Ah, because there's not enough grain. Ah. One wonders where the grain is. I wonder if it's because grain production gets reduced at certain points. There is a point for saying that maybe grain could be overproduced. It is a point. Oh well, not concerned by this point. I just want Cologne to get their population. A storm is raging, huh? Okay, those bricks are they are really mounting up. I wonder if I made them do too many bricks. Well, it's not impossible. But hey, quit being such a detractor, because in Cologne the population is there. So tell us more, Mr. Guildman. Give me the down low. Well, Ripon probably doesn't have way more than the that amount. And everywhere is fine except for Hamburg's in a state of emergency, which probably means that they are feeling a... or have just come out of a plague, which is most likely. That's what I'm getting out of it. In any case, I'm more than satisfied with this, so we are done here. We are more than done here. Is what I would say if I didn't appreciate that there is a true form of perfection